Hello, hello, hello. I'm Erica Lynn, better known as Erica Lynn Speaks.
If I can think about it for a second, learn to live life for the better. I had hard times, got a life coach for depression, got a life coach for depression. Now it's all mine, living days full of hard times. Ekalin, work on your mind, let's get on your grind. Working on the feelings inside, Ekalin got me on the rise.
Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, yeah, yeah. Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, alright. Looking up when I fell on hard times. Hard times, they changed my mind. Got my head up, looking to the sky. Miss Lynn, she changed my life. Looking up when I fell on hard times. With her unique design. Got my head up, looking to the sky.
Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, so the Echoland speaks, yeah, yeah. Echoland speaks, so the Echoland.
I'm still jamming to the intro. Go to Erica Lynn Speaks. Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Erica Lynn, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Y'all know I like to play big, or what? It's time to go home. Always say, what are we playing big for, Erica? Who are we playing big for? You are playing big for yourself. This is time to invest in you. It's time to go big or go home. Put yourself first above other things so that when you execute or tackle those other things, you could do it at the fullest of your ability. So that's why I say it's time to go big or go home, because loving yourself is so important. Oh my God. So, but before we get started, I want to make sure that you share this podcast with everybody on your time link. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. It's Erica Lynn Speaks on YouTube. This is the year to build the YouTube channel. All right. That's awesome. We have wonderful people joining us this morning. Hello, Martha. Hey, Luther. Like, hey, we got them going in. And then we got my team. They logged into my account. Deja, she's back again. Whoop, whoop. Happy Blizzard Day. Oh my God. If you guys are not in Michigan today, today is the day to be snuggled in a warm house and not be in Michigan, because the snow has started coming down and it is not going to stop until tomorrow. So I hope you all have everything that you need to be snuggled into your homes, warm, safe, sound, and doing what? Loving on you. So I'm so excited about today's podcast because this is the start of February. February is Black History Month and a lot of other things that we got going on in February. And so one of the things that I want to say to you guys is self-care is not selfish. It's not selfish. You have many people thinking that it is selfish to have self care, to love on themselves, to take care of themselves. Self care is not selfish. The way you start with you is the way you end with you. Did anybody catch that? If you didn't, put that in the chat box. The way you start with you is the way you end with you. So, what do I mean by that is, if you start out by loving yourself and putting yourself first, then at the end of the day, after the world starts pushing you around and treating you as its punching bag, so you're going to come home at the end of the day and treat yourself, because you know what's in store. You excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited to get home because I know what's in store. Because you started out your day loving on you and treating you right. Then what you going to do when you come home at the end of the day after the world did what it had to do to you, right? You're going to come home and you're going to love on you. What does love on you look like? That looks like pampering yourself. That looks like having a glass of wine, like your girl Erica Lynn have today, right? Because this is going to be a really relaxed show. So also, if you don't have your glass of wine, go and grab your glass of wine as we go through this show. That also looks like reading a book. My favorite, having sex, okay? Having sex is self-care. I don't care if you want to admit it, if you want to talk about it, if you don't want to talk about it. Having sex is a wonderful way to have self-care for yourself. Am I right? Perhaps you can have a wonderful meal, or just listen to the music. That is wonderful to listen to the music, okay? Because I love music. Music just sends me in this great place that I should be in, and it allows me to love on me and so on and so forth. But most of all, you deserve all of that. You deserve all of that and then some. Whatever loving on you looks like, you deserve it. I want to tell you right now, you deserve it. So, over the month of February, we will be discussing self-care tips. So this means that steps that can take you to your next level, because ultimately sometimes we are stuck on the level that we're at, right? We don't know how to grow to the next level. We don't know what that looks like or what tips we need. Like what I'm saying is people can tell you, "Oh, you need to grow. You need to go to pull out what's inside of you." But if nobody gives you the steps or the roadmap to get there, then all they're doing is telling you what the end result is, and you don't know how to get there. I.e., ultimately, it is up to you to figure out how to get there, but it does help when somebody else gives you the steps and stuff to help you get there as well. So, what do we have? Deja says, "Hey, mama." Oh, Jalen. Hey, Jalen, I love you. I got to shout out my team. And my mother says, "I am having a fruit and reading a good book." See, she's already started loving on herself. Martha is reading a book and having what she know nurtures her is her fruit, right? So when I say you deserve all of that, and what we're going to talk about over the next month of the podcast, again, we're going to talk about going to your next level. We're going to have Nova Davis on the podcast next week, and we're going to talk about internal measures that you can utilize to help with your self-care. We're going to have a show about your mental health status. How do some of the inmates, because you guys have know I've been doing some work with the people that were recently exonerated, and others who have come out of being incarcerated. And I know their mental status has been challenged. And so we want to talk about what type of self-care tips that they use when their mind was challenged inside the facility and out. How did they put their life back together so that they can move forward? And so we will be discussing self-care on so many levels this month. So I want to make sure that you guys join in the podcast all the month of February. Hey, Pastor Brown, how you doing? We got them all on here today. We talking about self-care. So as I go along, if you guys have some self-care tips, some tools that you use on yourself to help keep your mind, body, and soul right, drop them in the comment section below. And we're going to point them out as we go through the podcast. But tonight, we will be talking about the steps that you can use in your own life that will help push you to your goals, right? So knowing your goals is the key. Once you know and understand your goal, creating your map to get you to the goal is the easy part. Knowing the goal is the most important part. So the goal is growing you to your next level. What self-care tips or methods that we can use tonight that can help you grow to your next level? I'm going to tell you what my favorite is. Let's prioritize sleep. You guys do not know how important sleep is in getting you on any level, not just the next level, but stabilizing you on the level that you're on. Why is sleep so important, Erica? You said, well, sleep is important because it's important to your mood and to your immune system. It's counting on that. See, of course, the body needs other things to go and live and survive. But sleep is very important. Getting quality sleep, it keeps your immune system running at its best to fight off infections, because you guys know how we have the coronavirus going. And if your immune system is weak, the coronavirus is quick. You're like a perfect candidate for the coronavirus to attack, right? But when you build up your immune system, you can fight off some infections. You can fight off diseases. I mean, infections is deep, and it's all different kinds, just not the coronavirus. Getting enough sleep helps you to be a better person. Because have you ever seen people that walk around, they cranky and acting funny, and you just like, oh, you would want to say to them, dang, maybe you need some sex. Well, have you ever thought that like they're lacking sleep? They are not getting enough sleep to help them their mood, to be in a better mood, to help them think clear. Your thoughts is clear. See, what some of the example of results that you get when you tired, I'm gonna tell you, when I'm tired, sometimes I've worked a full day. You guys would be surprised some of the things that I do in the process of the day. And I do have deadlines that I have to meet. Like my team, they might need some work from me or have sent me some emails throughout the day, and they need responses to these emails so that they can do their job, right? They're waiting on me so they can do their job. Well, sometimes I come to the computer at night and I start typing, but I'm so tired. I'm typing gibberish. I can't think very clear. I can't get my point across. And ultimately, what I'm doing is just wasting my time sitting up at the computer trying to get these thoughts out that I can't even connect with because I'm too tired. But when I go to sleep, baby, I'm up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm able to knock out what I attempted to do at 10 o'clock at night because my brain is functioning at its highest capacity. See, when you know yourself, then you know what things you could produce. When you love yourself, just imagine what level you can produce it on. Right? Does that make sense to anybody? So what did Jalen say? Jalen says, let me make sure I got it right. Okay. There you go. Jalen says, I got the best mom in the world. Nobody got a mama like me. She's lovable and she keeps it real blessings. That's what's up, Jalen. Thank you very much for that. I love you too. Nobody has a son like you. I have 3 children, but you are ultimate because your graphics designs and a lot of your talents and skills that are inside of you. I can't wait until you realize and understand how to unleash everything that's inside of you, Jalen, so that you can go to your next level because it's coming. You get ready for it. Be prepared. Everything that you do in life, you prepare yourself to be in alignment with what your next level is. So these self-care tips are tips that you can utilize to help put you in alignment so that when the opportunity comes or that next level, that door begins to open, you're ready to walk through that door because you did what you needed to do, i.e., focus on you. So the next step that you can use is I want you guys to, I'm clicking on, there we go. I want you guys to know your personal signs of stress. Why am I bringing up personal signs of stress? Because stress is real. Stress kills. Stress take people from ultimate highs to the lowest of lows that you have ever seen before because they cannot handle the level of stress that comes their way. And when I talk about alignment and I talk about putting your things in alignment, when you are in aligned and stressful things come your way, it's easier for you to brush them off your shoulders because you have created an ultimate foundation for yourself. So know your personal signs of stress. Sometimes self-care is about knowing when you're getting overloaded or overwhelmed. You know, when the kids is driving you crazy, when your job is putting on, telling you to do too much, when your husband is demanding certain things, when you just have so many things that you have to do, and everybody always says, dang, it's not enough hours in the day. Okay, well, if you only have 24 hours in a day, does that mean pack as much stuff you can in the process of one day? Or do you utilize the other 365 days of the year that we have? Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Instead of trying to cram everything in one day, spread it out over a period of time. So what may be urgent to someone else, if it causes your stress level to be here, then you say, hey, I can't deal with that today, but I'm available tomorrow or I'm available the next day. What does that do? That allows you to bring your stress level down, at the same time give you an opportunity to handle somebody else's problem or situation when you are prepared to handle it. Does that make sense? And what did Martha has to say? Martha says, yes, stress is what we are going through with the pandemic. Absolutely, Martha. The pandemic has put so many people into a level of stress that like we've never seen before. These are unprecedented times. And I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. Uh, a lot of people don't know what it's like to be with themselves. A lot of people have not even spent time alone with themselves. So the pandemic has forced you to be with yourself, to love on you, to be one with you. And If you were out there in the world and you were creating a ruckus or you were things, when you have an opportunity to spend time with yourself, you're going to find things about you that you didn't like. You're going to find out things about you that you didn't like. But guess what? You also got time to fix it. So when you begin to understand your stress levels, things that trigger your stress level, what things can you do to help prevent burnout, to help see, and so when you respond with the small habits, these small habits help you prevent burnout. So one example would be count to 10, right? They say, oh, that's just counting to 10. But literally, when somebody pisses you off and you take the time to count to 10 slowly, by the time you get to 10, you had an opportunity to calm down. And so you don't go and belt somebody in the face because you had an opportunity to distress and you can respond calmly. It works because I sent that to someone today. I told them to take a deep breath and count to 10. And their response to me was, thank you, because I really wanted to punch that person, but I did not. I utilized your advice. It helps. Also, you could take short walks. Oh my God, being outside. Well, okay, I know we got the snow going on. Disregard, just pretend like the snow not out there and just get out there and walk in the snow. No, I'm just kidding. But taking deep walks, like going in times like this where it's snowing, then you can go to places like the mall or a place that's a big building and just walk around the building and sightsee, like look through the windows and things like that. That is a great de-stressor. If you don't have the ability to walk outside in times like today, where the snow is just lovely and coming down. Also, understanding when you're triggered and what steps you can do to de-stress you. See, a lot of people don't know what their triggers are. You just find yourself upset, stressed out, and mad, right? But when you begin to understand you and love you and learn your triggers, then you can understand how to de-stress yourself. So I'll tell you one, I'll give you a personal one. I was a person that liked to take on too much. I would take on so many projects in the process of one day. And there is not more, there's only 24 hours in a day. And I know that I have to sleep. So I had to utilize my own advice of what I'm giving you. If somebody sends a project my way and I already have things on my plate, I'm not going to add something else new onto my plate as of today. However, if I can push it forward in the future and the time is available, then I'll take it on. But if I don't have the time, then I'm not going to go, oh, I can get it done. I can get it done, because I won't be able to give it my best, my all, right? You want to always be able to give something your best, your all. You always want to level up. When you come into a room or you come into an environment or your name is associated with something, you always want to come at it with your best. And you can't come at something with your best and your highest potential if you're stressed out about it, because your brain is cluttered and things like that. So you want to be able to remove all of that out of your way so that you can give something or someone the best because you committed to it, right? You want to give you committed to the full part, not half the part. Does that make sense to you? So let me see what we got here. So Martha says you can get burnout being a caregiver. Oh my God, that is so true, Martha. And what are some of the steps, Martha, that you utilize as being a caregiver to prevent you from burnout? Well, again, sometimes being a caregiver, everybody don't drink, but having a glass of wine at the end of your shift, it really does help. Not only does it relax your body, it relaxes your mind, and it allows you to be free so that when you wake up the next day, that you're living your fullest. So anyway, did you guys get your glass of wine so that we can go through this podcast? Let me take a sip. Mm. I feel the stress gone already. That's wonderful. So before I go on to the next step, we have another? Okay, here we go. And Jalen says, Dizzy Wright says, treat your problems like your blessings. Do you agree or disagree? And how do you feel about that statement? Well, let me tell you, Jalen, I totally agree with that statement. And I'm going to tell you why. Ultimately, things come into our life to challenge us. They come and they challenge us. If you were able to rise to rise to the occasion and beat the challenge or overcome the challenge, then you learn something. But if nothing new ever come your way, how are you going to know if you can handle the challenge? How are you going to know if you can overcome it? How are you going to know who the beast is inside of you, right? So another example, right, I can give you when we talk about challenges is you guys know I've been working out with a personal trainer for a little over a year and a half now. And the first year, I jacked up a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I was dedicated to not quitting, but I wasn't dedicated to fully winning. Why? I did have a lot of things on my plate. But when I began to put my life in alignment, handle all of the things that were preventing me from fully committing, then I went all in, right? So when the trainer saw that I was all in, now she took me from the baby workouts, I call them the baby workouts, to grown up workouts, right? With the bars. And when I saw those, I totally freaked out. I'm not even gonna lie. I totally freaked out. I was scared of lifting the barbells because, like, the videos that she sent me of the demonstration, they had heavier weight. I didn't realize that just because she sent me the video of what it looks like, obviously put my own weight or what I can handle on it. So that first particular day when I get to the gym, I started panicking. I started freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, she challenged me to actually lift the barbell. She challenged me this. And one of the trainers came over to me and she says, because my trainer was working with another client at the time. So this was like my own self workout I was doing that day. So one of the other trainers came over and she said, well, she sent me over to help you. Seemed like you were challenged. And I said, yeah, like I'm afraid to lift this barbell over my head. Like, what if it falls on me? You know, I just had all these kind of fears. And she says, this is no different than any other new exercise that you did. She says, I need you to tell yourself that you're a badass and that you could do this and that you could rock this. And I was like, yeah, I'm a badass. I can do this. And so now here we go. 4 weeks later, I'm literally lifting, bench pressing the barbell, lifting barbells over my head. Your girl is getting it. But how would I know if I could do it if somebody didn't challenge me? So does that make sense to you, Jalen? Yes, I agree with Dizzy Wright. And Martha says she do not drink. She have to take a hot shower and go to bed. Absolutely. Something about a hot shower just relaxes your body. Not only does it purify your skin, but it relaxes your body, your mind, and your soul, right? So that shout out to Martha. And Jalen, he's commented. He's like, that's my mama. I must have nailed the response to that question, right? Well, I'm going to tell you guys the third thing that you can do is something that I practice and I preach to everybody that comes my way, which is practice positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. See, a major aspect of self-care is the self part. That includes how you view yourself and, importantly, the language you use when you are talking to yourself. That means don't say I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Oh man, like don't automatically assume the worst. Let's put a positive to spin. Remember what I always say, what you put out in the atmosphere is what you get out. So if you putting positivity in you, then you're getting it back. So the positivity that you put in yourself, it pours out into the world, it pours out into the land, i.e., it comes back to you. I know what I'm talking about. I was negative at one point. How can you say the motivator was negative? I was very negative because I had been through so many hurts and so many pains, and I just automatically assumed that the worst was going to happen, that all men were abusive, that everything that I tried to accomplish was going to fail. Now, things that I've tried did fail or I did hit stumbling blocks, but I do realize that they weren't to tear me down. They were to make me stronger. They were to build me up. So when you begin to start with small things of putting positivity in yourself, it helps. Like saying to yourself, you did a great job, Martha. You're a great self-care. Jalen, you do a great job. Deja, you did an awesome job. Those are small things that you can say to yourself to practice positive self-care. Now you can say to yourself, your time is now. How many of you have worked on something so hard? You might want to be an actress. You might want to be a singer. You might want to be a dancer. You might want to start that company. You might want to be the best coach or basketball player or skateboarder. And you worked so hard with practicing and putting things in alignment, and it's just not catching, right? You're not getting those phone calls, or you don't seem like you're going to that next level. But what I'm going to tell you is tell yourself your time is now. Your time is now. It's almost as if you are willing good things to happen to you. You are willing for the environment, the atmosphere to open up and allow things to happen for you. But again, always make sure that the experiences that you went through, you were able to learn from them. So when the opportunities come, you're able to live it up to the fullest. You're able to do the best that you can do, like levels that are unprecedented, because your time is now. So tell yourself your time is now. Your time is now. Your time is now. Now, what about the person that went to work and you prepared for a presentation and you don't know how good you did, right? Because somebody didn't pat you on the back. But tell yourself, you killed that presentation. You knocked that presentation out. I'm the best employee that they got. They would be nothing without me. I'm sweet. I'm cool. I'm calm. I got it. I nailed it. What you are doing is instilling in yourself that you are the shit. And when you instill in yourself these things, when you go to do your job, now you set the precedent that you are the stuff, and you are going to do it to the best level, to the best of your, how can I say this? You're going to do your best. You're not going to hold any punches. You're not going to sidetrack. You're not going to play lower than the levels that you have played on before. You're going to always level up, because the next opportunity comes from doing the best that you can on the level that you're on, right? Giving it the best, putting your all into it on the level that you're on. So just tell yourself you killed that. You rock that. You can do this. I got this. Yeah. Or like I said, when I went to the gym, I tell myself, you did that thing today in the gym. Sometimes I be on the phone with my friend and he doesn't even say anything. I be really more so talking to myself. Like, I nailed that. I did that. I lift them weights. Oh my God, it was going to kill me, but I did it. And when I tell myself, oh, you can do this. Now, when I'm at the gym, I kind of walk around like with this stance of, I know I got this. I know that the body that she's shaping is going to be flawless and phenomenal. But I do that because I give self-talk to myself, positive self-talk. What positive self-talk things are you saying to yourself to help you grow to your next level? Let's see what you said. Martha says her time is now. That's right, Martha. She said her time is now. Deja said, I'm preaching out here today. And that's what I love about when we do the solo podcast. It gives you guys plenty of opportunity to be interactive with me. Jalen says, oh, wait, Martha says, I am giving the best I can. Absolutely. And Jalen says, self-love is the best love. The reason why I read these comments out, because the podcast is on the website, and the people that get to hear the website, they only get to hear the audio version. They don't get to see my lovely face live in action. Anyway, also things that you can say to yourself for positive self-talk is your greatness is inside of you. Let me hear you say that. Your greatness is inside of you. Now, it's up to you to bring it all out and bring it to the forefront. But at least you know that it's in there. Knowing what's in there from the beginning is what you're going to utilize as you go on through life. Patrick says, Walk in confidence and love. That's right. Oh my God. Can you tell the difference between an unconfident person and a confident person? An unconfident person is unsure of themselves. They're unsure of their skills. They're unsure of what they can deliver. Now, not saying that they don't do a great job, right? Because they probably are the best motivational speaker, the best songwriter, the best nail tech. But if they're not confident about their skills, then how are somebody else going to be confident in your skills if you're not confident in your skill? So you have to be confident in what you could deliver, and then you deliver the best, and other people are there to receive. Something else that you can say to yourself for positive self-talk is you're ready to start your business. Why do I always throw business in there? Because there's always someone, you, whoever you are, that's watching me, Erica Lynn, saying, I have an idea, I have a vision. I'm not sure if I can start my business. If I start a business, does that mean I got to quit my job? Do I have to just live homeless like Steve Harvey them did back in the day to launch their business? Man, it's so many ways around today to start a business that doesn't stop you from living your life the way you lived it, but you have to begin to make space so that that business you want to start is in alignment with everything that you're doing. And so what I'm saying to you is get it in alignment. Say to yourself, you are ready to start your business. And then when you start that business or that ideal, give a shout out to Erica Lynn Speaks Podcast. We like to hear from you. We like to hear what business you started. Another thing that you can say is you are ready to grow. Say, I am ready to grow. I'm ready to grow. What does that mean? I'm ready to grow means that I'm ready to stop bullshitting. I'm cussing on today's podcast. Why? Because this is how it's coming out. Um, I'm ready to stop BSing. I'm ready to stop BSing. I'm ready to stop living my life halfway with one foot in the door and one foot out the door, using half of your brain and keeping the other half to yourself. In order to grow, you got to be able to fully commit. And how do you fully to commit? You got to say to yourself, I'm ready to commit. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you. I am ready to grow. Now, what's important behind all of that is you have to say to yourself, I am ready to put in the work. Really simple thing to say. I am ready to put in the work. But look in the mirror when you say it. I am ready to put in the work. I am ready to put in the work. Now you're holding yourself accountable. You're ready to commit to it. And now you're going to move forward and walk into the thing that God has placed there for you to walk into. Because it has always been there. But it is up to you to walk into it, to grab it. So say you are ready to put the work in and go in there and grab what God got for you. It's waiting. Go get it. It's waiting. I wait to hear. I wait. I wait. No, but seriously, be ready to put the work in. It's important. You know, what did the Bible say? Faith without works is dead. So you can have faith all day that $1 million is going to fall in your lap, that your business is going to go to the next level. Faith is great. But again, the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you, along with having the faith, you got to be willing to put the work in. Does that make sense? And so Jalen says to us, Martha says she's ready to grow. She says she's ready to grow. She says her greatness is inside of her. Now, Jalen says, I am ready to grow, mama. What he says, I'm ready to grow and I am loving. They got this little thing pop up on the screen. Wait a minute. Here we go. Okay, there we go. I am ready to grow, mama. And I am loving this podcast today. This motivational speaker I wanted to see all along. I am very proud. Thank you, Jalen. Thank you. Martha says, yes. And Kelly says, I am ready to grow. That's right, Kelly. I am ready to grow. The level of what you can achieve, the level of the possibilities that's out there, the things that are waiting behind that door, they're there. It's there waiting for you to grab it. But you have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to put the work in to go get it. And how do you do that? First, you got to program your mind. So don't ever stop telling yourself, I am ready to grow. I am ready to put the work in, because the results speak for themselves. You don't have to go out in the world and post on all social media. Your results speak for themselves. When you tell yourself that you're ready to do something and you commit to it, man, I can't wait to see your results. Now, the next thing that's important that would also help you grow to your next level with these self-care tips is have a weekly planning meeting with yourself. You say a weekly planning meeting with myself. Well, what about when you guys go to work, right? And your boss says, we're going to have a weekly meeting. And in the weekly meeting, they tell you about everything that went wrong during the week. They tell you about everything that went right, but they also ultimately tell you things that you need to fix, right? Or they give you advice, or you guys are able to have a powwow in that meeting at work. So if you can have a powwow at work, why can't you have a powwow with yourself? Ask yourself questions. Did I accomplish half of the task that was on my list? Because you might not, like, it has been said before, you might put 10 things on your list for the process of one day. If you accomplish at least half of those 10 things, then you've accomplished a lot. So then the next day, you only have 5 more to go. But you only know these things by having a weekly meeting with yourself, going back over the list of things that you did, because your goals for that week might want to be like Martha. Well, she's a home caregiver, right? So she might want her patient to be able to walk a mile, for example, or she might want her patient to take his medication the right way. But those are goals that she set in doing the best job that she's doing for her and her patient, for her patient. So when she has a weekly meeting with herself and she says, well, I wanted my patient to do this and he didn't. So she has to take an opportunity to have a meeting. Well, what can I do differently next week in order to get the results from my patient? So that's what I mean by having a planning meeting with yourself. Another thing you can do is ask yourself, how's your mental status? Like, I like to know from you guys, how's your mental status? See, if your mental status is off, then things in your life is just kind of shaky. Like you feel like you want to cry all the time, or you feel like you want to pull your hair out. So this is a weekly meeting. It means that going back and keeping yourself in check, finding out what works and what don't work, being able to remove things and people out of your life and add what needs to be added and remove what needs to be removed, because your mental status is important. Reading the Bible, taking walks, all of these things flow together. You know, one of the things that I say is in step 1, 2, and 3, right? The positive self-talk, um, getting the rest that you need, being able to de-stress. Those things are things that you use in your everyday life. And the reason why I started out with those things is, as you begin to progress in your life, those 3 things are going to be constant. They will never change. They will be a constant. You know, I always tell one of my son, the formula to get there never changes. It's the people who change, or it's how you apply the formula into your life. So you might apply the formula to your life one way, and someone else might apply the formula another way. It's no wrong way to apply the formula. Just know that the formula is the same. It's the people and the places that change. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And I want you to understand, are these keeping you going? The things that you're keeping, utilizing, the tips, the tools that you're utilizing in your life, are they keeping you going? Are they keeping you growing? Or are they holding you back? If they're holding you back, then you say, I got to move that one. I have to change that out of my life and replace it with something that is propelling me forward, something that's growing me to the next level. And what's important is you might not always see the results right away. Well, some results you will see right away, but others you might not see right away. And when you identify what it is that you need to keep or change, then that'll make your life a whole lot easier. And so what is Jalen saying? Jalen is saying, Mama, how do you get yourself to keep going when times get tough? Even though you know your choice, even though you know you're close, but sometimes you just want to give up. That's a good one, Jalen. I'm going to tell you. Look, I got everything blowing. Okay. So look, I usually have my phone, all this going because making sure everything is right. Because we snowed in, so I had to do the podcast solo. My team had to log in remote to make sure we going right. So that's one example. The storm is coming. I couldn't get my team here to do what they normally do, so I had to do it, but my team had to log in remote. So instead of giving up saying my team is not here to set up the cameras, Jalen, what did I do? I pivoted. I had the team log in remote. So what I'm saying to you, Jalen, is sometimes you can be so close, but yet it seems so far. And if you reach out your hand, it's just right a little bit past your fingertips. You can't touch it. You can taste it, feel it, but you can't. It's right there. Well, I'm going to tell you what that means is. What that means is you need to go back and recheck everything. You need to make sure that everything is in alignment. You need to make sure that you didn't skip any steps. You need to make sure that if you need to add a training or skill, if you need to learn budgeting, if you need to learn finance. See, sometimes the universe won't allow you to actually touch something until you finish learning what it is that the universe wants you to learn. So, Jalen, there may be a skill that the universe wants you to learn. They may be something, one key thing that you're missing that you need to learn. And I'm going to tell you why. That is when God opens up the door, he opens up the door for endless possibilities and opportunities. But if you cannot handle life and the opportunity where you at now, what are you going to do when God actually opens up that door and floodless opportunities come in? You're going to run, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't handle it. This is going on. That is going on. You won't be able to appreciate the opportunity. So that results in the opportunity coming and going. But if you take the time that you have now, Jalen, and whomever is listening, if you take the time that you have now and you focus on getting good, getting great at where you at, meaning there's a lot of people that I know that's in the music industry, or there's a lot of people that are starting businesses, have starting businesses, and there are certain fundamentals that you did not learn when you were building your foundation, meaning learning how to handle money, meaning budgeting, accounting, financing, meaning how to handle a heckler. If you're a comedian, how to handle a heckler in the crowd. When you understand and when you learn those fundamentals, get your foundation solid. I mean, solid as a rock. If I want to hire you as a skateboarder, or if I want you to come to an event, how do I reach you? That has to be clear. When I reach you and we agree on the deal, do you have your contracts ready? Do you have your team ready? Do you have your pricing ready? That is all part of your foundation. And until you understand and get the foundation right, when God opens the door, you're going to fly right through it and don't look back. I know what I'm talking about. When I wrote the book, The 7 Techniques of Healing, you guys know, and I advertised the book, and I'm going to the next level, and I went to go hire a publicist, and I said, hey, I want to hire you. I want you to take me to the next level. My publicist said to me, I can't take you on as a client. You're not ready for me. And I said, well, what do you mean that I'm not ready? She said, well, your foundation is not solid. If I took you to TV tomorrow, your website will crash. What systems do you have in place for people to contact you? If someone want to book you as a speaker, how do they find you? Do you have an assistant? Do you have a team? Like, you can't handle everything, because when the door opens, you can't handle everything by yourself. Where's your team? So I spent 4 years in the growing process of my business, developing, getting better at my skills, developing my team, nurturing my craft, and growing it. And when I'm telling you, God has literally been opening opportunities every day that I can't necessarily speak about right now, but I put in the work so that when the door opened, I'm walking through the door. And like Patrick says, I'm walking with confidence, baby. And so that's what I'm saying to you, Jalen. Make sure that your foundation is solid and that everything that you're doing ties into one another, so that the level that you're trying to go through, that it all falls in alignment. So when the door opens for you, you're walking through that door. You don't have to turn around and look back and say, I should have did this. I wish I had that, because you spent all of your waiting period. That's where you at now. When you reaching out and you can't touch it, but it's so close, you're in your waiting period. Yanlin Van Zandt used to call it in the meantime. You're in your meantime. So while you're in the meantime, you take full control of that meantime. That means you take that time and develop and learn whatever skills that it is that you're going to need to learn, so that when you go to that next level, dang, you did the groundwork. You know what I mean? I'll give you the best piece of example or advice I can give you. Find someone in your industry that is doing what you want to do on the level that you want to do it on. Reach out to them, contact them, and see if they're willing to be a mentor to you, so that now you understand what it is that you need and what pieces of the puzzle that you're missing. And when you begin to place those pieces of the puzzle in their proper place, then what do you have when you're done? You have a finished puzzle, and that finished puzzle open up doors that you never even imagined will open. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was like a long explanation, but I hope that helps someone else. Martha says, reach out to someone who can help you. Absolutely. And she also says, that is so true, listening to what someone else has to say. And she says, wow, this is good information. Thank you, Martha. And thank everybody for joining the podcast. One of the things that I'm going to leave you with before we get ready to get out of here, we got about 12 minutes and then we'll get out of here. I was listening to Sarah Jakes today, and just a brief insert that she said. I didn't even get to listen to the whole speech, but this one brief insert, she said, it is okay to grow. It is okay for you to change. It is okay to not need the same things that once fed you. She said it is okay to not need the same things that once fed you. So if something or someone fed you in the past, meaning helped you grow, brought you happiness, brought you things, it is okay to not need that anymore, because you've got what you can get from that. And now you need something else that can help you grow to your next level. So it is okay to not need the same things that fed you once before. Now, I want you guys to catch this. You have to give yourself permission to get out of the same routine. Give yourself permission to get out of the same routine. Stop doing the same thing, saying the same thing. If the relationship is not going to where you want to go, stop seeing the same person. Like, it is okay to change your routine. If you got up every day and you ate a bagel, drank some orange juice, ate bacon and eggs, because that fills you up, then you have a big lunch and a big dinner, And then you get on the scale and you're 10 pounds heavier. And you wonder why, because you love those foods. But it's okay to change that routine. It is okay to not eat a bagel, perhaps eat some egg whites, to eat something, have a banana, have something, find a healthier substitute that will still fulfill you, but it still fulfills you, but it's not the same things that you had before that was giving you the results. So give yourself permission to get out of the same routine and do something different. If you were talking negative to yourself before, change it. Let's talk positive. If you were doing drugs before, stop. Go to rehab. Let's change it. If you were drinking a ton of alcohol and you classify yourself as an alcohol, stop. Go to AA. I know some people I could connect you to. If you want to lose weight and you're tired of your dress fitting tight, stop complaining about it. Give yourself permission to change your routine, meaning change your eating habits or go to the gym and work out. So, what I'm saying to you is your permission is granted. It's granted right now, today. God grants you the permission to change the things that you need to change to get your life where you need it to be to grow to the level that you want to grow to. Once you give yourself permission, what does that mean? Giving yourself permission. How does the things that you have helped me with, how does the things that I've given you, how does the things that you, how do they help you grow to the next level? I'm going to just tell you in some simple words: faith, courage, skills, mindset, happiness. These things will grow you to your next level. They will grow you to your next level, because I have been scared so many times in these last 4 years about things that I asked God for. But when the opportunity was coming, I got chicken and scared out. Like, oh my God, I told everybody I'm a motivational speaker. Now they take me serious and they booking me and I got to do this. I'm nervous. But guess what? I got faith. The same faith that I had when I started this business is the same faith that I have when it's time for me to get up on stage and speak in front of these schools or speak at these events that I'm booked for. So you got to have faith and you got to have courage. Oh my God. Like, and if you don't have courage, then I'm telling you, hire somebody on your team that's hold the courage until you're able to suck it all in for yourself and have the courage for yourself, right? And then skills. Skills is something, the same thing as I was telling Jalen. When you are in your mean time, take that mean time and develop your skills. That's why Les Brown and all of the other greats will always say, read books. Read books, because reading books help you to develop and grow your skills to the next level. Taking a class, finding a mentor, hiring a coach, something, someone, or somebody, or something, or all of that contributes to developing your skills and growing your skills to the next level. Because skills, what was told to me, skills are transferable. So if you got out here tomorrow and you went to apply for a job, they're going to hire you based upon your skills. So if you have no skills, why do they want to hire you? So just because you didn't go to school and got a degree doesn't mean that you're not great at this skill. If you can learn this skill and perfect this skill, then you can take that same skill and pitch yourself to that employer who's saying, well, I don't see that you have a degree, but check this out. This is what I was able to do with the skills that I've acquired, and show them the results. Man, skills is a powerful thing. And that goes along with your mindset. You could do it. I always say you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So you can do it. You got this. Tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I got this. Now, I love the last part, which is happiness. Because when you put your work in, man, y'all, like the smile that y'all see on my face, it is not fake at all. This is a genuine, true smile, because I am so happy. Why? Because I started out with myself this morning and I ended with myself. I started loving me and I ended by loving me. So when this podcast is over, I'm still going to be smiling because I got so many things to be thankful for. And how do I have them? I went through trials and tribulations just like everybody else did. I struggled on levels just like everybody else did. But when it was time for me to change, I gave myself permission to change. So, what do we have here before we get out of here? Martha says her permission is granted. She also says, "Thank you, Erica. I needed this information." And Jalen says he'll do better. And that's fantastic. That's all that we can hope for, is for people to take this information and do better and grow better. So what I'm going to do is it's Black History Month. I'm going to let you guys know who will be representing for this week, because we're going to do somebody on each week of the podcast in Black History Month that we're representing. And then we're going to show you their video and we're going to close out the show. So I'm going to leave you my closing remarks. Then I'm going to tell you who we are talking about today. And then I'm going to leave you guys with a video. So Jalen says, "Hey, let me know, mama. Let me see that smile." That's what's up. He's so silly. This has been an awesome show. We talked about self-care, loving on yourself, changing your mindset, getting your sleep, giving yourself permission to be free, giving yourself permission to grow to that next level. This is the foundation and the basis of self-care. There are so many self-care tips that you can use in your life on a day-to-day basis that would not only keep you safe, whole, and full of life, but you can also use those self-care tips to grow you to their next level. As I said before, over the month of February, we're going to have guests that's going to come on the podcast, and they're going to give you self-care tips in different forms that you can utilize in your life. But what's most important is giving yourself the care that you need, understanding your body, your mind, and your soul so that you know what you need so that you can go out and get it if you don't already have it. So give yourself permission to grow. Love on yourself. Get your rest. Change your mindset. I mean, do it big, okay? Because if you don't, nobody else will. You can't expect somebody else to love you more than you love yourself. You can't expect somebody else to grow you more than you can grow yourself, right? When you have a brand, the brand is you. The brand is not someone else. So somebody else can build you up all day long. But when you get on stage, if you didn't do the work that was required, then it's you that's the representation, not someone else. So take this time while you are in your meantime, develop your skills, change your mindsets, do those positive affirmations. And if you guys need some more positive affirmations, they're in my book, The 7 Techniques of Healing. And if you need a link to the book, just go to the website, Erica Lynn Speaks Podcast, so that you can have that link. And let me make sure that, so you can have that link. It's scrolling below at the bottom. So just go to the website to get you the things that you need. But ultimately, your next you is the best you. And my Black History Month person knows is the best person to explain that, which is Michelle Obama. She's the former first lady, first Black American first lady, to the 44th president of the United States. We salute you for standing out achievements as a Black woman in America, making it. Graduated from Harvard Law School in 1988. Developed the first community service program at the University of Chicago. Supportive wife to Barack Obama. First Black American president. Shout out to Barack. She was a devoted mother, role model for many women, advocate for healthy families and international adolescent girls' education. She started the Let's Move program to end the childhood obesity. And my favorite, she always says, when they go low, we go high. So I want to end this podcast with Michelle Obama. I love you guys. I will see you next week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. And always remember, it only takes just one step beyond you. And stay around for this video of Michelle. This podcast was brought to you by EricaLynnSpeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today at EricaLynnSpeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond
Beyond you. I say Erica Lynn Speaks.